Peace. This is Anpu with another video on Question Everything. This will be part 2 of She is God. Yes, I'm back with another one. So, this is video number 11 on Question Everything. Just want to stay a little more information on She is God, and I didn't put it in the very first video. Like I said, I have so much information on that topic, and I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit. I'm not gonna make this video too long. I'm pretty sure the last video of Question Everything, She is God, pretty sure people didn't agree with it, or they had doubts about it. But yeah, y'all need to get up on this type of information. Start doing your research, right? Also, I'd like to give a shout out to a conscious brother within the conscious community that has dropped a lot of information on She is God, and he goes by the name of Natural Tahuti. And for those that watch Side TV, he was first started out on that Side TV. I love Side TV. I love to watch the debates, and it's just this brother brings a lot of information, to the community and to the light. A lot of information that has, have not been spoken about. A lot of information that I've learned watching that channel on Side TV. But the brother Natural Tahuti, also brother Polite, and other individuals, they also spoke a lot about She is God, the concept of She is God, right? I just want to say that and give a shout out to them brothers. So we have to think about this, right? First thing I want to touch on, like I stated in my last video on astral travel, that before I went to sleep and had this experience of the astral traveling, I was watching a movie called The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Now, Henrietta Lacks is an African American woman, and this is back in the days, 1951. And before I even touch on her, the first time I've heard about her was from my master teacher, Thoth. He was the one that put me on to her. And like I said, we had that type of relationship and friendship that when he gave me information, I went in. You know what I'm saying? I went and researched it, Googled it, YouTubed it, found books on it. I tried to do everything I could to get as much information on it. When he told me about her, he was the first one that mentioned her name. And she is an amazing person. She had a special ability. Her body is immortal. And like I said, Oprah just did a movie on it. You need to go check it out. I mean, even though I fell asleep on it, but I pretty much knew about it. It was a lot of things in the movie that I didn't know, like far as the family background and stuff, and basically the movie kind of touch on the law aspects of the whole situation. So basically, Henrietta Lacks had a condition. She had a condition. It was like she was cancer, and she was dying pretty much. And she actually did die. And the doctors, took tissue from her body, took her blood and all that, what scientists and doctors do. So, they want to study the case. So, they want to, back in those days, they want to study the body, study the blood, so to find a cure and to prevent these diseases from occurring, and find a cure for it. So basically, excuse me, her cells. What the scientists discovered, that her cells keep reproducing, right? That's not normal. They didn't find it in a man. They found this ability within a woman. Like I stated before, you want to trace back your ancestry? The only way to do that is through the woman, through the mitochondrial DNA. And here is this woman, an African American woman, and this happened back in the 50s. And here we are in the millennium, this information is just now coming out. Like, why are children, let's question that. Why children in school ain't taught this story? Especially around Black History Month. I mean, I'm against the whole Black History Month, which is the shortest month of the year, but we ain't gonna touch on that. But still, why kids not taught about this woman and how great she was and how many lives she saved? Because when scientists realized that her cells keep reproducing, they were able to find cures for other cancers and other diseases and other, health problems. And she's helped damn near probably millions of people because of her cells. They call her an immortal. She's an immortal being. And this is facts. This is facts, ladies and gentlemen. This is facts. So, the thing is that her cells keep reproducing. And like when you watch the movie, basically these scientists, they were selling it. So they were making money and a profit off of her cells. And this is what the whole movie ties into, because it was illegal because they never got permission to do these things. So the family had no idea this was happening, but it came to light because of a journalist. And she was, was intrigued in about this whole Henrietta Lacks, in her cells, they called it the healer. So they, did this without telling the family members. And here they are making millions and millions of dollars off of their, ancestors' cells, and they not benefiting from none of it. But all these scientists and all that, they are. And her cells has been sold across the globe. That's how powerful this woman was. So yes, she died, but at the end of the day, she's still living. Still to this day, her cells are still growing in labs. How deep is that? Now this is a crazy fact. If you weigh the cells that was grown and you put it on a scale, it will weigh over 50 million metric tons. 50 million metric tons. You know how heavy that is? That is equivalent as if you was to weigh 100 Empire State Buildings. Yes, that's what I said. For real. Anyways, Henrietta Lacks. Look into that. Read articles about it. Watch videos. Watch the movie. Look it up. Research it yourself. And this is the reason why I say she is God. This woman's cells is curing shit. Curing diseases. Because of her. Not because of no man. Because of her. She's an immortal being. Henrietta Lacks. And she's just one of many. She's just one of many. There's no telling how many other women out there that have this ability. It's no telling. And this is why I was stating in part 2 of Question Everything that the man is an incomplete being. He's not complete as much as a woman. Talking about the physical aspect of a human being. As a physical being, the woman is more complete than the male. And that's a fact. Even if when you go into fruits, flowers, vegetables, and it's always the female is more abundance within nature. It's more. Even within the marijuana plant. Did you know that the buds that you smoke off the marijuana plant is from the female plant? It's the female plant that gives you that bud, not the male. Not the male. It's the female plant. Because those don't know, within the plant kingdom, you also have males and females. Did y'all know that? And it's crazy. Next time I'm gonna give you something. Next time you go to the grocery store, and like I said the last time, you go to the grocery store and you look at the peppers. When you see four lumps on the bottom of the bell pepper, that was a female's. The males is only 3. Like I said, when you're dealing with the female aspect within nature, it's always more than abundance. It's always more. Okay, moving along. Now, we're gonna go into biblical terms, right? I know we touched about that. We talked about that in part 1 about Genesis and the virgin birth, but people, I'm pretty sure, probably bashing me about that whole idea about how a woman gave birth. How can a woman give birth without a man? You know what? I was researching on Pinterest, right? Scientists are just now tapping into, and I remember, there's like my master teacher Thorpe said, there's nothing new under the sun. So whatever has been done before. The scientists stated that now they have the ability for a woman to reproduce, to produce sperm cells within the bone marrow, through the bone marrow. So now when you have same-sex marriages, let's say if you have 2 females that are intimate with each other and they marry and they want to have a child with each other, they can use their own bone marrow cells to produce sperm and to fertilize the egg within them. Now that's doing this. This is doing all this without a male species. This is facts. You could go look these things up. So what am I telling you? I'm telling you real talk. I know it's hard. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's real. It could be done. It has been done, and it's still being done to this day. Okay? Before I get into the Bible here, I'm going to show y'all another book. I told you I'm always reading. This book here. Mysteries of the Human Reproduction, The Obvious Theory of Reproduction in 1959. Get this book. By Raymond W. Bernard. Get this book here. This book here, it's like, it's giving you, it's a book from actual documents. Actual documents on how the women have the ability to reproduce without the male species. I didn't finish it, but information is out there. Science has been tapping into this type of information. I mean, they're not gonna put it out there. They're not gonna just throw it out there because it is what it is. And like I was stating before, that how the women existed thousands of years before the male species. I know people probably thought, Anpu, you're bugging out. But let's go into it. Let's go into Genesis, right? We're gonna go into Genesis. Let me see. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. All right. So it states, I will put empathy between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It is bruised by head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right? All right. So when you go to chapter 3, verse 16 in Genesis, right? This is what God said. Unto the woman, he said, I would gently multiply thou sorrow and thou conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thou desire shall be to thou husband, and he shall rule over thee. Right? So what people don't understand is that when you read the Bible in the actual language that it was written, which is Hebrew, you see in here on chapter 6, in verse 16, they use the word children, right? So basically, what's going to cause her sorrow and pain? Her children. But when you research the word that was used in Hebrew, that word is bane. And you can actually look up these words because they numbered through the translation, and that number is 1121. When you're looking up the translations of the words within the Bible from Hebrew to English, you got to remember, everybody here that be reading these Bibles, they be reading these Bibles in English, so the translations are always wrong. Not always, but they always, you got to know what you're reading. So if you're going to take this serious, then take it serious and really look into what's really going on. So here is stating that God said that she's going to have sorrow by giving, birth to its children. But what kind of children? The word was used is bane, and bane is male children. She's going to give birth to male children. And because of that, it's going to cause her sorrow. And look at the sentence after it said, and thou desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Bam. See what I'm saying? So, but people kind of, talk down on how women was here first, but this is showing you what's going to cause her sorrow and pain and suffering. Male children. I mean, the Hebrews could have used any other word because there's many different types of words that relates to children. You got children, you got infant, you got baby, you got, female child, male child. You got all these different terms when it comes to relating to children. But the actual word that they use, and you can look it up, the number is 1121. It's male children. The male children. So, on that note, also, people gotta understand that these religions and stuff like that, they put the woman down. I stated that in the first video, She is God. They put the woman down. You gotta understand this. We gotta really look deep into this. That the women don't have no say-so. She went from all powerful to damn near to the bottom, right? And that's the thing, man. Like a woman, she's just an amazing entity. Amazing. Like I said, she's much greater than a man. I mean, you think about it, right? When a woman gets old, I don't want to be all, dramatic about it, but when a woman gets old, guess what? She can still have sexual intercourse. No matter what age she is. She can still have sexual intercourse. But guess what? When a male get a certain age, his thing don't work no more. He can't do what a woman do. He just can't. Just can't. I mean, that's just scientific fact. Of course, scientists are going to try to come up with a new pill for a man to take, but in reality, naturally, We can't. We can't. So another thing is that, women just be put down bad. Excuse me. They do. They really do. You gotta think about it. Women just really recently got the right to vote. Recently. 1920. In 1920, women gained the right to vote. That's not that long ago, people. That wasn't that long ago. And did people know that back in the days, back in those times, women wasn't even able to work. Women wasn't able to even wear jeans. They couldn't wear pants. Did you know that it was illegal? I learned this in women history in college. That women wasn't able to wear jeans. And if you was caught wearing jeans, you would get in trouble with the law. It was forbidden. Women wasn't able to work until, the First World War? Because all the men went to war. Somebody had to run them factories, and that created the revolution of women working. And you had that cartoon figure of the woman showing her muscles, like, hey, I could do this too. I could probably do it better than you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, that people don't understand that it wasn't that long ago that women couldn't do the things that they doing now. And this is why this country is in the situation that it is in now, because they didn't want to make a woman a president, which is sad. We need that type of change. We need that feminine energy. No matter what her race is, we're not going to talk about race. But at the same time, it's this is why we going through what we going through, man. And I keep stating that the man he's one-sided, one-tracked mind. You know what I'm saying? Everything is war, destructive, build, and like it's nothing. I'm not saying that all men this way. I'm not saying that there are not sensitive men out there that have good heart. But I'm just looking at the nature of man as a whole, as a percentage, because there are men that are in tune with their feminine part of themselves, because at the end of the day, you are part woman and man. See, that's the secret. That's what you got to understand. Yes, you have to tap into that feminine energy that's within you. That's that loving and caring part about you. So back to the religion situation. Now let's go into, before I even step into that, I'm gonna show you how bad women have it. Right? We're gonna go back to the Bible. Like I said, I'm going back to my Bible. I'm reading off the Bible. I'm reading the scriptures. I'm not making this stuff up. Let's go to Corinthians. Where is it? Yeah, Corinthians chapter 14, verse 35. So in Corinthians chapter 14, verse 35, it reads, "And if they will learn anything," they meaning the women, "if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for a woman to speak in church." I didn't write this. This is what's in the Bible, King James Version. Corinthians chapter 14, verse 35. What that tells you? Women has no power within the Christian religion. She has no power. So if she want to question something, she can't. She doesn't have that power. But the man can. Basically, that's what that's saying. The man can do it, but the woman can't. If you got a question, shut your mouth. Don't say a word. You got a question, you ask your husband. What if your husband don't have the answer? You see what I'm saying? This is what we're dealing with. Go home and ask your husband, because it is forbidden for a woman to speak in church. That tells you who wrote this book. A man wrote that book. A male chauvinist, feminist wrote that book. and all the other holy books. They're all men. They're all written by men. Right? This is why the God is a father. And you're dealing with his son and the Holy Spirit, but have nothing to do with the mother. Yeah. Also, Allah. And we're gonna go into the Islamic world, right? Allah. I stated in my last videos that when you look up the female names that's written in Hebrew and in Islamic, most of the female names ends with an AH, right? But then when you study deep into this, where did the word Allah come from? And the word Allah comes from the word Alat, the goddess Alat, right? And when you go deeper into it, Allah, the Nigerian womb deity, she is responsible for inception, protector of the womb. And all souls are absorbed into her womb at the end of life. That's ancient teachings right there. Right? Now, Islamic, when you're speaking in the Islamic, they go El Rahim. I don't speak it that well, but El Rahim. Now, when you look this up, people would think is seeking refuge through Allah, mercy. But the real translation of El Rahim is seeking refuge through Allah womb. Bam. That's another shot right there. Yeah. Seeking refuge through Allah's womb. I mean, the last time I checked, the only deity or entity that has a womb is a woman. Okay? Is a woman. I'm gonna stop right there. Who knows? I might come back with a part 3. Might drop some more in y'all head about this topic. But it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of information. I want you to go do your homework, especially on Henrietta Lacks. Go check out that movie. It's on HBO. Pretty sure you can probably find it on Netflix. Or go on YouTube and do your research and check out the sister. And you'll see that what I'm saying, it's not that crazy. Until we meet again, it's the God Anpu with another video on Question Everything.